So then I gave him the idea of carrying me into the woods so he could take out the Zaku squad. And then we both fell over. That is actually pretty funny. What's so funny? Were you telling him of what happened last week? Hey, is it just me, or do you look a little different now? Well, a day after that incident, I decided to go in there by myself to attack them, and they didn't take me seriously. They thought I looked like candy with my colors, so I got a new paint job to make myself look more badass. Well, the new paint job on you looks good, especially the metallic paint on your cannons. I say the three of us will go together and get those Zaku now. Well, I'm not going to carry you like I did last time. Are you sure you can still move around? Well, I moved very slowly, but I got thrusters on my back. I think we should be able to go now, and I can flank them. Alright then, let's get them! Hey everyone, I'm Guncannon, and today we are taking a look at the high-grade Universal Century RX-77-2 Guncannon. For this kit, I painted and paneled everything except for the head. The metallic gray I used is the same one I use on the gun tank. I was able to paint the cannons this way, as well as some of the shoulders here, and even some of the joints and hands, and I think it turned out pretty well. And I got some on the thrusters here, and down at the feet, which were nicely painted in. I was able to get all that mechanical detail in, and it looks really good. And the red I used is the scarlet red, which is the same one I also used on the gun tank. All the gold parts on here were originally that bland candy yellow, so I painted it a nice gold. And as for the paneling, I think I did a very good job on it, especially down at the legs. And there's also some more paneling I did at the back as well. But right around here, there is a little bit of blemishing on the side from the marker I used. And there wasn't much I could do, so I just gave it a pass as battle damage. And speaking of battle damage, some of the metallic gray that I used got onto some of the red, and I used this as an opportunity to give it a more weathered effect, and I embraced the mistake I made. And you can see some more here, right there, some here, and a little bit right there also on the arm. I always get nervous when I paint these types of kits because I'm always scared of making some kind of mistake. But I had an art teacher back in high school who told me that when you make a mistake, sometimes you can use that mistake to get more creative, and that's exactly what I did. Now, when I originally paneled this guy, I planned on using this Gundam marker I ordered on Amazon, but for some reason it appeared to be defective and it wasn't working. So instead, I used a Sharpie as an alternative, and it actually did the job pretty well. As for the accessories, you get a pretty small amount of stuff. You get a pair of open hands, a pair of fists, and a really cool rifle which can be held by splitting one of the fists in half and putting them back together, which has a hinge joint at the scope. You do also get a sticker sheet, but I don't plan on putting any of these on, so I'm going to just put that to the side. While this is a very nice kit, there are still some problems I have with it. I think that the paint looks a little too thick, especially with the red paint I used, and it just to me looks a little bit crazy and a little bit messy looking, but keep in mind I'm still pretty new to the hobby, so I'm always learning and always experimenting with different things. The ball joint on this arm is very loose, and it comes off very easily because there actually is a little bit of a crack in there. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a crack in the socket, and that really scares me, but so far it seems okay. And on that arm that came off, has this piece right here, and it comes off very, very easily, and that is just really frustrating. And on the other side, this same looking piece doesn't have any problems at all and stays on there very, very tight. And now it's finally time to check out this figure's articulation. Ball joint at the head, hinge joint at the neck allows him to look up that far and down that far. Ball joint on the arms. There's a little bit of a butterfly joint. Hinge joint on the cannons, tight bicep swivel, double bend at the arm, ball joint at the hands, limited waist swivel. Lifting these panels, the leg can go out that far. However, this leg really isn't able to move as much and it's kind of loose and floppy. Double jointed knees, thigh swivel, and an ankle ball joint. Overall, the posability of this kit is pretty good. And for a quick size comparison, here he is next to the high-grade Universal Century RX-782 and the gun tank, and I think this looks so good together. I got the original trio from the original Gundam, and these are the only kits I currently own. I just think they look so great together. So overall, I think this is a very good kit, and I highly recommend to any Gundam fan. And now before I end the video, I just want to give some quick updates. I have multiple social media accounts now. Now I have a Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook, along with my Instagram page, and I'll leave all the links to them in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.